Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and this is
Logan Garibay.
And today we're going to talk about President Barack Obama, the 44th president of the United States of America, the best president who ever lived in my lifetime. I've been through Nixon, Ford, Reagan, George H., Clinton, George W., Obama, and now Trump, and without a doubt, Obama's the best president ever lived while I was alive, okay? I voted for him twice. Man's a hero to me. We're going to talk about his DNC speech supporting
Joe Biden.
Exactly. All right, so we both watched this together. It's about a 20-minute speech. I think one thing we both 100% agree on is Obama's an amazing speaker. Would you agree with that? Yeah, he's really cool. So, start it off. What do you got?
So, we watched it. We took some notes. We're just going to go through. One of my first points was, near the beginning, he pointed out, he kind of went on Trump, like, head on. And he basically said Trump is using the White House to his advantage for his friends and not for the common people. That's what he said. I believe that is true. I don't really think that Trump really... I really do think he's using the White House to his advantage, and it's almost like another reality TV show for him, just to give him more publicity.
I don't even think that's a debatable subject. Trump is absolutely using the presidency to his own advantage.
Yeah,
it's like, but see, I think that's one of the things that's so strange about Donald Trump is his villainy is so out in the open, and he wears it like a black cape.
Yeah.
He just owns his Darth Vader so hard that, like, he's like, duh, like, of course I'll be like, it. You know, he stays in his own hotels. He has like people on the government dime, all kinds of bizarre stuff. Like, so the only reason I point that out is yes, what he said was 100% true. I'm not sure I understand why anyone even takes the time to say Trump bad anymore. It just sounds like an echo, but I guess it's important. Go ahead. Oh, what's your next one?
So my next one was, he pointed out also that Trump has not been doing a good job during the pandemic. He thinks, so he kind of said that
He gave the numbers. Remember what they were?
So there were 170,000 deaths, and a million jobs lost.
I think there's like 30 million jobs that were lost.
There's a lot
it was
of
like
jobs that
crazy
are lost because
high,
of stuff with like manual labor and stuff. Even non-manual labor, a lot of people
almost everything's been impacted.
Yeah.
Actually, I guess the tech industry has done really well.
There's still
weird.
Some
there's a few that are like,
There's still some economic stuff with the tech stuff.
Yeah.
But
most groups have really lost hard. Yeah. So he was saying that Trump had done a terrible job dealing with the pandemic.
Yeah. One thing that was kind of sketch where he said Joe Biden and him suppressed or whatever the H1N1 and the what was it, Ebola.
Yeah.
I don't think Ebola would ever become as bad as what's it called, COVID.
Yeah.
And
correct.
I think that even Trump went hard at the beginning with the whole COVID stuff, and the Dems actually railed on him for him. So I think that was kind of weird. But, yeah.
The other thing, though, here's a question. Do you think Obama's right? Do you think that Trump screwed up on coronavirus, or do you think it would have been just as bad with any president?
I think he screwed up a little bit. I don't think it was all his fault, like some people are saying. CDC definitely. That we could have a whole nother talk on that. But I don't think it's entirely Trump's fault.
Here's a question. Do you think if we had a Democrat president, they could have cut the number of lives lost in half?
Depending on the person, but I wouldn't say half. I would say 25%.
So that's my point is, again, so I love Obama, but I feel like a lot of his points were pretty weak. Saying that Donald Trump didn't handle Corona right, you're saying, didn't handle the Rona right, you're saying that the Democrats would have, and there's just no evidence of that. So I felt like that was kind of a weak point. What do you got next?
Well, healthcare would have been another thing. But next point, he he kind of had sympathy, or not really sympathy, but he understood how people are losing faith in government or whatever, and he simultaneously pointed them to Joe Biden. He said he has empathy, dignity, and history, and like age and all that stuff, which he's had experience. He's lost a lot of family members. He's had people in the military. He knows a lot, and is something that he said Trump doesn't really have. He doesn't really have respect for people other than his rich friends. He doesn't really connect with people on like heart-to-heart basis, and he praised him for that.
So I have a question for you. I have a theory that Obama was talking about a Biden ghost, a Biden that used to exist that does not exist now, a Joe Biden that had empathy, that had wisdom, and that had knowledge. Right now, when I look at Joe Biden, I see somebody who really can't get through a friendly interview, right? They put him in front of the most friendly interviewers possible and say, talk for 20 minutes, Joe Biden, without alienating a large portion of your base, and he fails every single week at that incredibly basic task. Do you feel it's fair to say that the Joe Biden that Obama was talking about exists today?
In my opinion, I do think that Joe Biden still exists. I get why you're saying, he doesn't have, he can't, like, order something from McDonald's or whatever. But I really do think he has mental power. I get your stuff, like, he can't even get through a friendly interview. I do get that. I still think he is a good person. I think he is mentally, or he
I
can
hear you.
order.
So you understand the concerns
Yes.
about his mental fitness.
Yes.
Right, okay.
But
you're saying what
still
you
have
really are
faith.
trying to focus on is he's a good person.
Yeah, but also that stuff still does matter, and I do think he still can.
You think he's capable of doing the job?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I have a theory that I'd like to run past you. I think that Obama actually, here's my theory, okay? And then I'll give evidence for the theory, and I'll let you come right back at me. I think Obama does not, I think Barack Obama, President Barack Obama, does not like Joe Biden. Mm-hmm. I think he really dislikes him, actually. Mm-hmm. And here's my theory for why. One, Joe Biden really did a big old double middle fingers to Obama by not running in 2016. Incumbency is so powerful, and I think it is very fair to say that Trump is Biden's problem. We have Trump because Biden could have won it, and you have to say he could have won it because you're saying he can win it now 4 years later when he doesn't even want it, right? Against an opponent who Trump destroyed, right? So if you're saying that Biden can win now, you're certainly saying that he could have won coming off of Obama's direct shine, right? So I think Barack Obama is furious, just like the rest of the country, for giving us Donald Trump because Biden didn't have the grit, the desire, the empathy to help America and become its presidency using its incumbency, right? And so I think he did two deep-cut shade insults in the interview. Here's the first one. Obama quoted Biden's parents, who said the following: "No one is better than you, but you are better than nobody," and said that to Biden. So if you're in your speech are saying that Biden's parents said to him, "You are better than nobody," I would never ever say that to any of my children. Like, that seems crazy. I think that was a deep shade, hidden insult against Biden. What do you think?
So, in my opinion, I think you directly misunderstand what he is saying. So, I'm going to start off with the empathy statement. So, before that, he directly talked about empathy. So, the quote, "Joe, you are better than nobody." Or wait, no, I think it was.
Oh, here it is.
Nobody's better than Joe.
It says
wait, hold on. No.
Yeah.
Yes, nobody's better than Joe, but you are better than nobody. That is called empathy. It's in the dictionary. It's a really interesting word that is very political, in my opinion. And I think that directly describes it. It's putting someone in someone's shoes, and being on a person-to-person basis, believing that we are humans and that we are all equal. And that's basically what he was talking about. I think you're directly
misinterpreting
what he said.
Okay.
I think wasn't there another point that
yes, one more. He said, so Obama said, I think this is a direct insult. Mm-hmm. He said, Joe Biden was the last one in the room when I had a big decision. Now, did you catch that? When I have a big decision, there's people I trust, and they're the first I go to, not the last, right? So I think it was a veiled insult. He's like, when I had something important to decide, Joe Biden was the last person I asked.
So that's a directly misquoting. So in a decision, you'd have everyone in a room. So like,
it's not a misquote. You're saying I'm misinterpreting.
You're misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding or yes. Misinterpreting.
Misinterpreting,
yes,
whatever.
Go ahead.
The point is that when you're having a big decision, you'll have everyone in a room talking about it. He was basically saying, like, throughout the night, once people are getting tired or whatever, they would leave. But Joe Biden would still be there talking to him, going through the plans. And I think that's what he meant. I don't think that he didn't say he would be the last person I would go to. He said he would be the last one in the room when we were making a decision. That's two different things. In my opinion.
All right, so we're getting close to the end of this. Let's go. Let me give you one more point. What else were you impressed with from Obama's
speech? This is kind of skipping ahead, but he talked about John Lewis. So John Lewis was
civil rights hero,
and he said when he was, I think this was when he was in the White House when he was president. He talked to a lot of the leaders of the civil rights movement, and he was talking to him, and John Lewis said, I never think there'd be a person in the White House that looked like my grandson. And I think that was kind of like a symbol that his efforts were complete, and that his civil rights activism and fighting for justice went through. There still are a lot of
but he was saying we made progress.
We made progress. Yeah. So, and John Lewis was a very, very important man. I think he was a very, very noble man. And the last point is that I think this is his direct quote. What we do echoes through generations. I definitely think that's true. It's just history. Like, everything we do will affect things somehow.
Yeah.
And it's important to do the right thing and take action with your mind and be correct and ready to do it.
There's no better place to end this video than you talking about, civil rights hero John Lewis. I'm very proud that you know that, and you didn't learn it from me, because honestly, I had never heard of John Lewis before he died, which is pretty crazy, because I read Malcolm X's autobiography, and I paid attention. I guess that's one of the things is I never really paid attention to MLK because he was so peaceful. Malcolm X just seemed a lot cooler, so it was easier to pay attention to that stuff. So I'm very glad that your education is including important people like John Lewis, and you make a great point there. We really need to choose our actions carefully. So with that said, you got a choice coming up, right? I say the following: the best path for voting is right in, is right on. Write in Andrew Yang. Write in the person that you think is worthy and capable of being president. And I'm telling you now, I don't think that Joe Biden or Donald Trump is worthy or capable of being president. However, you think differently. What do you think the best path to voting is?
Go for Joe.
All right. That's our advice. You have a huge decision coming up. We totally agree with Obama. Don't let your power be taken. Make sure you vote. And don't let anyone tell you your vote doesn't matter. Don't let anybody tell you that your vote doesn't matter and you shouldn't go. Don't let anybody tell you that your vote doesn't matter and that, because of the state you live in. And don't let anybody tell you that your vote doesn't matter if you don't vote for the two clowns they put on the ballot. Your vote matters. Go in there. The only way you get beat, the only way you lose your power is if you don't vote. Make sure you vote. We both believe in that. Thanks for letting us share these thoughts and ideas with you today. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.